at 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts.
This is a classy celebration here in San Antonio.
Party, you're behind all. Don't break the window of my car. None of that stuff.
That
Don't do that. Don't break any windows. Don't destroy anything. This is party. Get your drink on, have fun, smoke your stogie, and make a joyful noise. That's all you got to do.
Some great memories of the San Antonio Spurs on the eve of the next NBA draft. We're celebrating a 25th anniversary of their first title. Good morning, everybody. It is 6 o'clock on your Tuesday, June 25th.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 25 years. We were just talking earlier. We have an intern. His name is Max, and he was not even born when this happened.
The producer for our last hour, I don't think he was born either, but the rest of us, we were here.
Yeah, we were here.
In some form or fashion, and we're going to talk more about that all morning. We've got more great clips, and we've also got a poll we want to share with you. Where were you on this night 25 years ago as the Spurs beat the Knicks for their first title?
That's right. We can't wait to hear from you. But from now, we're going to go ahead and hear from Mike. And of course, you remember.
Oh, yeah. And just the sheer number of people downtown. And like I said, 281, didn't they had to close because it was just a massive cars down.
Absolute standstill. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great to see. So, all right, more on that. A lot of clouds hanging around here. Beautiful little hole right there with the orange trying to show through. We're going to keep a lot of clouds around this morning. More in the way of sunshine later on this afternoon, which is only going to help to heat things up. We're at 80 right now. The normal low is 74. So do the math. Yesterday, we actually tied a record for the warmest low temperature. It stayed at 79 degrees, and we're going to be in that vicinity again today, but pretty much a dominant number of 80. And then these numbers are the ones that really make the difference. This is very similar to what we had a few weeks ago. Remember that one day we hit 117 for the heat index, and we're not going to be seeing that, but we have those very high heat index readings because these dew point temperatures are well up into the 75, 76, even higher than that. 78 there at Nixon. I mean, that is just beyond even tropical rainforest kind of humidity. So heat index readings feels like 87 at Stinson right now. Same thing at Port SA and 86 out at the airport. Heat advisory. This is in the shade. All the numbers, I got to emphasize that, are in the shade. If you get out in the direct sun, you're actually being heated up by the sun as well as the air temperature. But this goes into effect later on this afternoon for those heat index readings that will be up around 105 or higher than that. Couple little sea breeze showers again. There'll be one or two of them down there along the coastal plain. It's pretty much going to be about it. Mold's moderate. Grass is on the low side. The updated count is going to come out in a couple of hours. Temperatures will warm up through the 80s this morning, and then we get into the mid-90s. So really not on paper, as far as number-wise, we're just about where we should be, 93 being the normal high. But again, you got to factor in that humidity, so add roughly 10 to that. That's what it's going to feel like. Any sort of a break in anything coming up. We'll take a look ahead in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Austin is the one behind the wheel this morning. Please drive carefully.
And Ms. Cerna as well.
She's just giving you directions on where to go. So.
That's also true, like an old married couple. We just found our first accident in the morning.
Yes, this one's happening eastbound Loop 410 at Evers Road, so be aware of that. Of course, you're not looking at that right here. This one's a shot of Highway 90, but there is a crash reported there, so just be prepared for lanes being blocked again, eastbound Loop 410 at Evers Road.
From TransGuide to Alex Gomez out in Drive Cam. Good morning, Alex. What's the latest?
Well, good morning, Mark. I'm on the west side right now. I'm on 90 headed westbound near General Hud now. So I'm going to go check out that accident that you just mentioned at 410 in Evers. But right now, most of the highways have been looking green right now on the maps. Green means go. And don't forget, Mark, go Spurs go.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. We'll talk to Alex later in the hour. Top stories this morning. A martial arts school owner is facing charges after being accused of sexual assault of a child. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office said they arrested 40-year-old Joseph Rene Caballero on Saturday. The victim, a former student of the school, called the Exception Squad on Culebra Road. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says she began receiving secret admirer-type notes from Caballero. The two developed a relationship, and Caballero allegedly sexually assaulted the then 14-year-old girl. However, we're told there could be more victims.
Our goal with putting out this information is to, ask if anybody knows of any other victims, certainly anybody that may be involved with this martial arts school. Please give us a call.
If you or someone you know could be a victim, call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office at 210-335-6000.
Well, a San Antonio teenager who was shot by a former San Antonio police officer appeared in court yesterday, but not for that case. Eric Cantu is facing 2 charges of evading arrest in 2 cases that happened after he was shot. The Bexar County District Attorney wants to recuse itself from prosecuting these cases, and Erica Hernandez explains why and what a judge decided.
Remember this teen, Eric Cantu, who was allegedly shot by SAPD officer James Brennan back in October 2022. Well, now he's in court on his own felony charges. Right now, the state is trying to recuse himself from the case. The judge today denying that request from the state, so now they will have to proceed for. Eric Cantu will be back in court later in July. As for Officer James Brennan, who allegedly shot him, he is heading for trial in November.
Thank you, Erica. There is a new push for mental health resources in America. The American Foundation of Suicide Prevention just finished advocating in Washington. This comes as they near the 2-year mark of establishing the 988 Mental Health Crisis Lifeline. On July 16th, that foundation will mark 988's 2-year anniversary. AFSP's Julia Hewitt says the moment 988 launched, it had an immediate impact. But more work, they say, needs to be done. In the past couple of years, the U.S. experienced 1 suicide every 11 minutes, and suicide was the 2nd leading cause of death for people between 10 and 14 and between 25 and 34 years old.
That's part of the reason why AFSP is so relentless in ensuring that these legislative efforts are being made and that we're trying to get the support that we can.
AFSP now pushing for 3 new bills. Those include funding for follow-up resources and to improve 988's ability to respond to those in need. For a closer look at all 3 of those bills, visit KSAT.com.
Well, Texas State University will no longer host a presidential debate. It was set for September 16th and would have been the first presidential debate to ever be held in the state of Texas. Well, Texas State says they stopped planning for the debate when the candidates announced they would not be following the Commission of Presidential Debates plans. Instead, the candidates agreed to a different format amongst themselves. So what happens now? Well, the first presidential debate in the 2024 election is this Thursday in Atlanta, Georgia. Both candidates have agreed to no live audience, and one mic will be muted while the other candidate is talking.
KSAT is your home for election coverage throughout the entire election cycle. Scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Vote 2024 page where you can find everything you need to know about our local, state, and national elections. Right now it's 6:08, 80 degrees.
Well, after the break, a centuries-old cemetery, forgotten over the years, is getting the attention of several history lovers in San Antonio. Why they want it restored in Jesse Degollato's final edition of History Untold.
Can't wait to see it. Outside with live cam right now. Morning clouds, the sun is trying to come up. And as we go to break, some sights and sounds after the Spurs won their first NBA title this day back in 1999.
After seeing it all on TV, it then came out in print. Champs.
It's pretty legible.
And of all the images, there's probably none better than seeing the trophy. That golden, kissable trophy in the hands of our Spurs.
Welcome back, 612. In a city as old as San Antonio, there are quite a few historic cemeteries, like on our city's east side.
And in her final episode of History Untold, Jesse Degollato has a story of one of the many small forgotten cemeteries yet to be found.
The forgotten cemetery story actually began right here at the KSAT front desk 3 years ago when someone dropped off a handwritten letter and a map, but no name or phone number. Embarrassed to say, I finally found the letter a couple of weeks ago in my bottomless pit, otherwise known as my purse.
The letter led us to this stretch of New Laredo Highway lined with junkyards, where we finally found this locked gate at the end of a small road. Fortunately, the property owner allowed us in, and not just me.
Hopefully you get the information we need. All right, thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Randy Vale is grateful these lovers of history are curious about what's on the property he'd bought 30 years ago.
Find out who they are and why they're here, because I don't know.
In the group, also eager to find out, was the chair of the Bexar County Historical Commission.
To see something like this, it just opens my mind up for more.
Hidden in a tree grove is a small, forgotten cemetery filled with broken and toppled headstones. But most grave sites had none. From what Bexar County archivist David Carlson could tell, from markers, mostly in Spanish, that were still somewhat legible.
Another vernacular grave marker with a crucifix inscribed on it. Over half a century of burials here. And it's surrounded by farmland.
The discovery was an emotional one for Mary Bettoni. The 12-year-old buried here in 1918, Louis Bettoni, and his baby brother Roberto, only 8 months old when he died, were uncles she never knew.
I just can't believe it. I never thought this was going to happen. I never thought we were going to see this.
Her grandparents, Roberto and Angelita Bettoni, had a large family, she says, but times were hard back then.
She had quite a few that were young that died.
Close by is the headstone of a newborn infant belonging to another family.
A little girl who died a week old, Maria Virginia Lugo Ugartechea.
The child of Juan Lugo and Dolores Ugartechea, the parents of 6 surviving children. Their youngest and only son, Alfonso Lugo, says he and his sisters grew up in a hardworking but poor family, which is why Lugo believes Virginia was laid to rest in what may have been a potter's field or pauper's cemetery. Sadly, he says his mother never knew where her baby was buried by her own father. Neither did Virginia's brother when he placed her stone here years later. In his text, Lugo says, "My main concern was to honor my sister and appease my poor mother's soul." This partially dug grave perhaps shows how impoverished families back then would often bury their own. Lugo remembers this as Leoncito Cemetery, since Leon Creek is nearby. Yet Bexar County records show it as St. Teresa Cemetery. But the San Antonio Archdiocese told us there was no record of it.
We don't know why. We don't know who actually owns the cemetery.
Look at the cross there, my gosh.
Until then, there's much to do.
There's going to have to be an attempt made to document where the burials are.
Perhaps with ground-penetrating radar. Or, for now, Sarah Reevely's time-tested dowsing rod that she says located 6 graves here.
To move the headstones, is it a desecration? We can't do that. We can't do that.
But there's plenty of brush to be cleared.
They don't have to haul it away. They can just put it outside at the cemetery.
The owner says he'll add it to the piles that are out there now. And to keep his cattle from trampling over the graves, a fence is needed, in hopes the cemetery's dignity can someday be restored.
It's about family members reconnecting with their ancestors.
On the southwest side, Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
And Jessie will join us today on GMSA at 9 to share more on this story and, of course, look back on her amazing career here at KSAT.
Yeah, we look forward to that. Time now is 6:17, and let's go ahead and look out there with TransGuide. This shot at Highway 90 in Nogalitos looks pretty good. The only thing that we were seeing on the TxDOT website was a crash there at Loop 410, the eastbound lanes at Evers Road. So be aware of some of those lanes being blocked at this hour.
We also have a couple of disabled vehicles, both in the same area, 410 and 35 area on the northeast side. Let's check back in with DriveCam and our Alex Gamez. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, good morning, Mark. Right now, I'm in that northwest side area where we did have that accident, 410 eastbound at Evers. It looks like the backup right now is reaching about Bandera Road, so it's not too bad. We do have that left lane blocked. Oh, we got a lot of black smoke right here from the truck. But the left lane is blocked, 410 eastbound at Evers. So be on the lookout for that until they clear this accident up, Mark.
Alex Gamez live out there in the KSAT DriveCam. Thank you, sir.
Yes, it's good to see his point of view out there.
Fascinating story, Jesse.
Right?
Jesse?
Yes. The stories, the history behind that and everything.
Yeah.
And the best part is by the time we all see it and kind of absorb it, it is now history told, at least to a degree, right?
Wow. Yeah. Great story. All right, take a look at this picture. Yesterday we did have a lot of blue skies and then some of those clouds, and yeah, it was nice when the clouds kind of moved over to hopefully, just ease the heat a little bit, but we're not going to get much to ease that. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. We got some of these clouds hanging around here this morning. Of course, they will continue to break up. Heat advisory goes into effect 1 o'clock up until 7. Atascosa County, Bexar County, up to the north and up to the northeast. Heat index readings about 105, even higher than that. And we're going to be seeing more heat advisories of some sort posted throughout the rest of the week because nothing's going to be changing. Big storm system up there in the Great Lakes, but notice this, if you kind of step back and look at the huge clockwise rotation, that's the high, which is parked just to the west of us. It's scooted off just far enough to where we saw some of those sea breeze showers yesterday. Couple of sea breeze showers this morning, 1 or 2 of those, and maybe the next couple of days, because that position won't change that much over the course of the next couple of days. But then over the weekend starts to the center of the high wants to move back over right around the mid-south, and this is right underneath it where all the intense heat is. It was up to the northeast. That's why they were suffering. It moved out of there finally, but it's just going to be kind of plunked down right in the center section of the country, and it's going to be influencing our weather as well. The hope is that it would be just far enough to the east with the clockwise rotation to get something coming in here from the Gulf, but there's just nothing out there as it's looking at a lot of the long-range computer models, and this thing stays put pretty much where, well, this is basically where it usually is during the summertime, and that's why when you look at the long-range forecast from Climate Prediction Center going into the first week of July, odds are we are going to be on the warm side of things, and that center of high pressure up there around the mid-south, that's why really good odds of being well above normal up there around northeast Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and bone dry right underneath that high as well. It's like a cake dome on there, protecting it and keeping everything off, and so that's why you don't get any rain to form up. So pretty much skip any rain around here. Staying on the warm side of things with that high in place up there to the northeast of us, and unfortunately going into even close to the second week of July, staying on the hot side of things, hot and dry. No decent rain in the forecast at all, other than a little sea breeze shower. But when you look at the next 7 days, it's a really consistent forecast. We got all that humidity hanging around here still in the afternoon, which is not a good situation. That's why we have those heat advisories today. And like I said, we'll have some posted in various locations throughout the course of the week. There are some indications that humidity in the afternoon will drop a little bit, but not that much. So it's still going to be on the hot side and basically on the dry side. We'll be back after this.
You might be used to living with your albuterol asthma rescue inhaler, but it's a bit of a dinosaur because it only treats your symptoms, not inflammation. Treating both symptoms and inflammation with rescue is supported by asthma experts. Finally, there's a modern way to treat symptoms and asthma attacks. AirSupra is the first ever dual action rescue inhaler that treats your asthma symptoms and helps prevent attacks. AirSupra is the only rescue FDA approved to do both. AirSupra is an as-needed rescue inhaler and should not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing does not improve, continues to worsen, or for serious allergic reactions. Using AirSupra more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include heart problems, increased risk of thrush, or infections. Welcome to the modern age of dual-action asthma rescue. Ask your doctor if AirSupra is right for you.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a teenage shark bite survivor.
It's like a bad dream, but it's just so scary. I was traumatized.
14-year-olds Blaine Brown and McKinley Gore were in waist-deep water at Topsail Beach in North Carolina when Blaine was bit in the leg by a shark. And this morning, he's speaking out to GMA from his hospital bed.
A wave hit us. And a few seconds later, it just bit me. And I just ran out of the water, lay down on the sand. And McKinley got my grandma and everybody
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of Blaine's story and why experts say even with news of recent shark bites, it's still largely safe at the beach. With your GMA First Look, I'm Matt Rivers, ABC News, Los Angeles.
In your morning consumer headlines, the music industry clashing with AI. Universal, Warner, and Sony music groups have sued AI startups Suno and Udio. I don't know if I'm saying those right, but we're going to wing it. For allegedly using copyrighted recordings without permission. The suits are seeking $150,000 per song.
Well, Google is making its Gemini AI available to teen students in over 100 countries. This update allows students 13 and older to use the AI chatbot with added protections. Now, the service is free for educational institutions using Google Workspace for education accounts.
And YouTube says it's making your listening experience smoother. The new stable volume feature on Android and Google TVs automatically adjusts sound levels for consistent audio. That means no more sudden, loud, or quiet moments while watching videos, and that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. Time now, 6:26 and 80 degrees for now.
Let's take a look at the roads with Drive Cam right now. Alex Gomez is taking a U-turn. Where is he going next? We'll find out in the next half hour of Good Morning San Antonio.
It's awesome. It's awesome. San Antonio. I'm representing San Antonio.
Commerce Street became a river of cars, a parade of revelry. Thousands of fans who love their Spurs.
Look at this right here.
It didn't take long for the championship T-shirts to hit the market, and folks even waited diligently outside a department store to get theirs. All the while, more and more people poured downtown, and when traffic came to a halt, they just danced in the highway.
Love it. That was our very own Mike Ostrich voicing that piece many years ago. This morning, we are remembering the Spurs' first championship won 25 years ago today. Welcome back, everybody, at 6:30 on your Tuesday, June 25th.
Hey, thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to get to weather and traffic in just a few minutes. However, first, we have been talking about it all morning, of course. The Spurs here, an exciting night here in San Antonio 25 years ago.
That's right, that first championship title back in 1999. Patty Santos has been reliving it all for us this morning and has more on some of those great memories and highlights. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning. It's so fun to see some of those highlights and how young we all were back in 1999. This was the big day. The San Antonio Spurs celebrated their first NBA championship victory after defeating the New York Knicks in 5 games. This marked the first of the Spurs' 5 NBA championships. And right now, we have a poll going on. We want to know where you celebrated the championship win. Now, here are the options. You celebrated at home, downtown San Antonio, a sports bar, or you weren't born yet. Can you believe that? You can go to ksat.com/poll and let us know. Meanwhile, 25 years ago, people here in the Alamo City were very excited to celebrate.
Lots of fans having a good time. Like I said earlier, this party has been going strong since the game ended. A lot of people out here slapping high fives, waving flags around, and just having a good time.
At this point, everybody seems to be doing exactly what police asked, and that is have a good time, party, but for goodness sakes, party sensibly.
We have several San Antonio police officers out here just standing by just in case, but they say there have been no problems and they're very, very happy.
You have to know who that is. Marilyn Moritz right there. The celebration continued for hours that night. Lots of you have been sharing your memories on social media pages. Let's take a look at some of them. Now, Brittany Kay posted on our Facebook page here at KSAT, home. Then we went and attended the first River Parade. I was 11. Diana Lita posted on our KSAT Facebook page as well. I was at home yelling like an insane person. I was so excited beyond belief. Now, again, you can check the results of our poll. Do we have the poll there? Yep. At most people there, 59% were at home. Some of them were at downtown, probably some of the people that we're seeing in the video here. So, Mark and Steph, I got to ask you, where were you guys 25 years ago?
Oh, so I went to a sports bar with some friends, and of course, the place was insane when the Spurs won. I didn't go downtown. I was telling Mark because at the time I was I was living in Austin, but I was visiting home, and when I'm home with my parents, I have to go home after I go out. So there was no honking downtown San Antonio for me. So I went home, but I was off of Loop 410 and Marbach Road. People were having their own parties, honking
everywhere, right? Not
there
just
as well.
Downtown, everywhere.
It was fun.
It was a road game, but I remember working for the night crew, and I was live down near 37 and 281, and you could hear the honking and see all the traffic, but we were basically outside the dome celebrating that big win. Great memories.
Yeah, awesome. And it looks like a lot of fun. I know a lot of people probably have pictures from those days. Share them, please. We want to see them.
We would love it. It's going to be a day of celebrations. All right. Thank you, Patty.
Thanks, Patty.
Well, our KSAT.com Larry Ramirez from KSAT Sports takes a look back at the start of the Spurs dynasty. You can see a recap of all the big moments, plus the video from the Spurs celebrations out there on our homepage. And great timing, too. Again, tomorrow night is the NBA draft as the Spurs put the pieces together for another championship run.
Very good. Go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go. It's fun to say, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's exciting with everything going on right now as well, Mike.
Yeah. Does it seem like it's been 25? In some ways, it seems like it was longer than 25 years ago.
No, I don't feel like it's been that long. For me.
Yeah, but it was amazing when you think exactly where you were that moment. All right, got a lot of clouds hanging around here this morning, and we do have some very warm temperatures. Factor in the humidity. Heat index right now is at 85. Feels like 87 Randolph, Stinson, Floresville, and 81 over there at Nixon. We have the heat advisories that go into effect later on at 1 o'clock up until 7 o'clock. So we're going to be seeing those heat index readings well above 105 in much of the area, and then we're going to be seeing more heat advisories posted in various parts of the area over the course of the week, because not anything is going to be changing. It's going to be just kind of a cut and paste forecast. A couple of sea breeze showers. We'll see one or two of them, trying to move a little bit further inland today. Don't count on any rain, though. Mold is moderate, grass is low. Updated count comes out in a couple of hours or so. Sunshine and clouds, mid-90s, that little shower there, but the heat index, you got to factor in that humidity. So forget about mid-90s. It'll feel like it's about 105, even hotter than that. And again, it's going to be a cut and paste forecast the rest of the week. Maybe some minor changes as far as a little bit less humidity in the afternoon later on in the forecast. We'll take a look at that. Last weekend of June is coming up. What's in store for July? We'll take a look ahead. Traffic Authority, RJ, is taking a break this morning. A well-deserved break. Let's check and see how things are looking out there right now with TransGuide at 90 in Nogalitos. We have an accident 35 south at Topperwine. And I understand our very own Alex Gomez is live out in drive cam on part of Loop 410. Where you at, Alex?
Well, good morning, Mark. Right now I'm on the northwest side where we had that incident, 410 eastbound, right at Evers. But as you can see right there, the tow truck is leaving the scene with those cars hitched up. So this scene is actually about to clear within minutes, Mark. So 410 eastbound, that left lane should be opening up soon. But that's why we have a slowdown that's reaching from Evers back to about Ingram Road. So if you're headed out right now, the residual backup, I would at least give at least 5 to 10 minutes added to your commute. But again, this scene in the left lane should be clearing, Mark.
Thank you, Alex. Well, we were talking about our Spurs poll earlier, and you can scan that QR code and participate. So again, where were you? Where did you celebrate on this night 25 years ago for the Spurs' first NBA championship? And we're taking a look at some of the results right there.
Yeah, you can see the top pick there is 53% of people were home. And then we have some people going downtown San Antonio. That was 28%. Sports bar, 6%. But this was the one that gets me. 13%
of you weren't even born yet.
Oh, my goodness.
Which makes sense. We had a couple of them in the newsroom this morning as we were talking about where we were.
Yes, we did. So we'll just have to tell them all about it.
That's right. But we'd love to see your participation in this poll. It continues on KSAT.com/poll.
All right, well, new this morning, an overnight crash on San Antonio's far west side started as a mystery for the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. Well, it happened around 1 a.m. when the Sheriff's Office is reporting that a driver crashed near the 14,600 block of Petranco Road west of Highway 211. Now, rescue crews arrived. No one was in that vehicle. Sheriff's Department reports that emergency crews searched for the driver and used the Eagle helicopter. However, the driver was not found. The sheriff's office says the driver probably walked into a nearby wooded area. Now, 2 hours later, the crash victim was finally located in that wooded area and taken to the hospital. No official condition was given.
Other news this morning, SAISD's Board of Trustees has approved next year's school budget. Last night's unanimous vote came after the district showed a presentation breaking down changes to its general fund, debt service fund, and child nutrition fund for next school year. The district also mentioned budget enhancements like giving Martin Luther King Academy a new stipend and adding some adding back some after-school programs to certain middle school levels. However, the superintendent says financial struggles for SAID are not going away anytime soon.
I hear from families and staff and from the board, don't cut programs and service. And we have to cut programs and service.
So here's the catch. SAISD says budget amendments are actually expected throughout the school year. The district also has to make a decision later this summer on a proposed tax rate increase.
Well, the time now is 6:39 and 80 degrees for now.
Just ahead of play based on world famous board game coming to San Antonio. Some clues on what you can expect in this morning's Backstage Pass. If you enjoy theater, mysteries, and board games, then we have something for you this morning. A show including all three is coming to the Majestic.
Well, Eric Hernandez goes backstage to show you what you can expect in Clue, the play.
If you're looking for a fun murder mystery play, the national tour of Clue is coming to the Majestic Theater. We spoke to one of the actors who talked to us about the comedy that's based on the famous board game and the 80s classic movie.
Wadsworth is the butler, and he sort of has to bring all of these disparate characters together for an evening under the guise of sort of getting to the root of what they all have in common and why they're all being blackmailed, essentially. And through the course of it, it gives loving nod to, Agatha Christie novels where people start popping up, things start happening, and then it turns into a whole nother agenda. In the movie, there's several different endings, and in the stage adaptation, there's a really clever way that kind of works on stage to sort of give a loving nod to that as well. One of the greatest things about doing this particular tour is just seeing how much joy it brings people and how wonderful it is for people just to laugh. It's nice I think we're in a time where people need to laugh a lot more than we are.
For showtimes and ticket information, just go to KSAT.com. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
One of those shows looks like the cast is having a blast the entire time.
That's the way to do it.
Well, it almost looks like it's a little bit of that kind of slapstick vaudevillian type thing thrown on in there, which always makes, when it's not musical theater, always makes that really fun like that. So
very old school humor for sure.
Yeah, looks fun.
Quarter till, let's take a look at TransGuide right now. And our producer tells us we're going to look at 35 at Topperwine. And this is affecting the southbound lanes, I believe. But there was another accident at 410 in Evers, and Alex Gomez showed us a little bit earlier. Things were just about to clear. He's in Drive Cam and joins us now with an update. Alex.
Yeah, good morning, Mark. You're right. That scene has cleared. 410 eastbound at Evers. The left lane is back open, so all of that leftover backup should be clearing out pretty soon. The last that I checked, the tail end was around Ingram, nearing Culebra Road. But again, all lanes are back open. The northwest side should be seeing some improvement on those drive times, Mark.
We love great news from Mr. Gomez. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, and his roadway looks great right there.
Mm-hmm. And notice how there was a bunch of clouds out there as well. So we do have some clouds hanging around this morning. We had a few of them left over yesterday, made for a beautiful sunset, especially over Woodlawn Lake. I love this, a yawning cloud as it drifted in front of the sun, making for some beautiful beams over Woodlawn Lake. Now, that was last Friday, but
Nice.
Taylor has a way with words and obviously a way with pictures.
You have to read that with feeling. The yawning clouds as they drift in front. Sorry.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
Are you an understudy for Clue?
You never know. All right. We've got, there's the clouds we were talking about, and we'll see a lot more sunshine later on today, which only is going to make it obviously hotter. So we're at 80 right now, and that's, 81, the warmest temperature out there. But it's these numbers. Now, yes, usually we do have humidity in the morning. Yesterday, recall, most of these numbers were about 72, 73. And, you think, okay, 1 or 2 degrees. But that does make a heck of a lot of difference when you're talking about the dew point temperature, sort of the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. When you're 75, 77, and even at those 78s there, Gonzales and Nixon, I mean, that's, again, swampy, wet towel, however you want to describe it, sort of humidity. So, yeah, heat index readings, 88 at Randolph, 87 right now, Floresville, Stinson. Heat advisory, 1 o'clock till 7 o'clock, San Antonio up 35, going out 10, and basically the northeastern quadrant, if you will, of our viewing area. And there will be more heat advisories in one way, shape, or another throughout the rest of the week, because nothing is going to be changing as far as the forecast is concerned. We'll make it up through the 80s by noon, sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds out there. And then, of course, 95. Normal high is 93, so just looking, on paper, it's not going to be that much above normal, but you get the heat index to figure in there and all the humidity, and that's what is really adding to it. And that's going to be the problem throughout, because we don't get that drop in the afternoon humidity like we usually get in the summertime. More in the morning, a little bit less in the afternoon. The big high, you can see right where that thing is centered, just off to the west of us. It's sitting virtually on top of us, and it's really not going to be moving. The center of it's going to sort of shift back and forth over the next few days. Yeah, it's not right on top, allowing some of those sea breeze showers to pop up around here, but not any big systems, not anything. There may be something trying to brew in the Gulf by next week, but that's just kind of wishful thinking at this point, and temperatures will stay very consistent throughout the next few days. Lows in the mid-upper 70s, high temperatures mid-90s, but again, all of that humidity. Now, there are some indications that at least the afternoon humidity will start to drop a little bit once we get in toward, say, Sunday, Monday, so we won't have quite the afternoon heat index to deal with, but it's called summer.
That's true, but I did notice your lows changed from yesterday.
Yeah, and not the same thing every day, but kind of averages out to about 77, 76. So, yeah.
Changed it up, Mike.
Thanks for the variety. We appreciate it, because there's not much variety this time of year, right?
No, not at all.
650, 80 degrees.
Well, let's look out there with live cam at that 80 degrees. Yeah, a little humid out there, but that cloud cover is going to help us a lot this morning, so enjoy. We'll be right back.
Coming up today on GMS 8 at 9, Mia Montgomery will be speaking with a research meteorologist about the nation's most advanced fleet of weather satellites. Later today, the 4th and final installation of NOAA's GOES-R series will launch from Kennedy Space Center. We'll talk about how the new satellite will join the fleet that helps keep us safe here on the ground and in space. Plus,
I'm so proud of these guys. I'm happy for 5-0. I'm happy for Pop. I'm happy for Sean. I'm happy for Avery Johnson. I'm happy for George Gervin, James Silas, Johnny Moore, the terrific Spurs players who laid the foundation for us. And, I mean, you just can't explain it.
Well, and our David Sears will be here to join us as we continue our celebration of memories 25 years after the Spurs' first NBA championship win. So be sure to tune in after Good Morning America.
And our poll is still live right now at ksat.com/poll, or scan that QR code. Where did you celebrate the Spurs' first NBA championship?
It looks like most people were at home, 59%. That's leading off. And then quite a few people made it to downtown San Antonio at 23%.
And 9% of you were at a sports bar. 9% of you weren't even born yet.
But when you look at most people at home, you look at the video of 281, it's like, no, the whole town was on 281
like
and down there on
That was bittersweet to win it on the road, but we've had plenty of home ones as well. Let's take a look at traffic right now before we run out of time this morning, see how things are looking out there. Southbound 35 at Topperwine was one of our problem areas, and it continues to be right now with several lanes closed and very heavy traffic in that part of town. But Alex Gomez is still out there, and we want to get one final check of things out there right now. Alex?
Well, good morning, Mark. The north side is still pretty good. Check out 281 right in front of the quarry. No issues here. But RJ's back tomorrow. Good thing he's getting rested up. And two, you know what? And let me talk to you, Mark. You're a living legend, and it's been an honor to be able to talk to you on air, Mark.
Alex, thank you so much, sir. It's been a pleasure working with you and everybody else. We still have the rest of the week to go.
Yes, indeed. 3 more days, and each and every day is going to pretty much look like this. It's going to kind of a cut and paste forecast around here. 85 is what it feels like right now when you step outside. Don't forget the heat advisories. Even if it's not an advisory where you live, just really take it easy. Temperatures are going to be getting up. We've got those sea breeze showers. We'll have 1 or 2 of them down there along the coast. We'll make it up to the mid-90s later on today, but of course it's going to feel like it's well up into the hundreds. Nothing substantial changes throughout the rest of the week going into the weekend. Maybe a little bit of a drop in the afternoon humidity, but that's about all we can ask for.
My only regret is that we didn't get to work with Alex longer.
I know.
He's been an awesome addition to the GMSA morning family.
Yeah, we've enjoyed having you on, and well, thanks for joining us.
Have a great day. Good Morning America happens now.